The old Hollywood had returned, and Brent got extorted into a Paramount Studios enforced publicity relationship with his true stalker, Loree McBride. Brent and Loree have no sexual relationship outside of her drug rape of Brent in September 1992. Loree McBride obtained her girlfriend status through extortion, drug rape, and threatening to kill Gail if Brent won't play her game, and continues this trend. She used artificial insemination with Brent's sperm around September 11, 2001, to deliver a baby as a weapon against Brent's love for Gail. If he won't acknowledge Loree McBride in public as his girlfriend, she threatens to kill Gail. Gail's Star Trek The Next Generation teleplay, LOL, made print in a Brent Spiner fanzine in September 1993. The fanzine was called Data Entries. In the fan letter section, right next to LOL, Gail read about the mysterious, very sharp California blonde who was Loree. Please realize that Jesuits have doctored most photos of Loree to make her appear sweeter than she is. Loree appeared with a terrified Brent at a Star Trek convention in Minneapolis, May 1st and 2nd, 1993. At this time, Gail thought the blonde that was with Brent, was his Paramount business associate. Jesuit-led Paramount Studios had extorted Brent into a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship with Loree so that Loree would not go public about Brent's alleged rape of her in September 1992, while Brent long-distance romanced, married Gail, and refused to eat any of Loree's food or to give Loree sex. Gail began her novel, Silver Skies, written to honor Brent. She graduated from the Institute of Children's Literature. Jim Murphy, an award-winning children's writer, was her instructor, and she was awarded a diploma. She furthered her writing training through self-study, bought about 100 writing instruction books from 1993 to 1996, and highlighted them from cover to cover. In December 1993, around 8 p.m., Brent came to Gail's first-floor apartment in Seattle, knocked on her door, and said, "Gail." Gail went to her apartment's window and looked outside. A very handsome man, Brent, wearing a black wig and mustache, Brent's costume for his play Every Good Boy Deserves a Favor, sat in his sparkling white new truck in the parking space about 5 feet from Gail's window. He flashed the lights inside his truck on and off several times. Brent then zoomed off. 1994. In January, Gail received a FedEx from a Jesuit, Paramount Studios woman lawyer. It was not signed by Brent, that ordered Gail to stop writing or communicating with Brent. Gail prayed for 3 hours with tears to God. Within 12 hours, the Northridge earthquake, one of the costliest earthquakes in California history, hit Hollywood. When Gail read the paper the next day, she noticed the only Hollywood people who died worked for Jesuit-run Paramount Studios. Brent then wiretapped Gail's phone. Gail could now dial her own number, obtain a blank, and talk to Brent. Gail started psychiatric medications again because her sleep problems worsened, but the medications were not too helpful. Out of 120 possible duty stations, God transferred Gail's family to Houston, Texas, so that Gail moved to Brent's hometown. Her family now lived in a Houston suburb in Brent's hometown. Gail recalls that when she was new in Texas, around 1994, Brent visited Japan. She felt he did this to honor Gail because Gail's mother is from Japan. Underneath the cherry blossom song at Gail's website, gabrielchana.com/contact.html, is a video about the Ainu, where Gail gets her genes from Catherine the Great. While in Houston, Brent's hometown, Gail often saw a long, dark limousine with dark-tinted windows just sitting in her apartment's parking lot. Brent Spiner was inside. He told Gail in January 2012 via Skype that he waited in that limousine in her apartment's parking lot just to see her and to view the inside of her apartment from her apartment's windows. He would peek through her apartment's windows when no one was home and stare at her bed, imagining himself in bed with her. And when he viewed some curtains she sewed which hung above her sliding glass doors, which she told him about via his wiretap of her phone, he imagined himself wrapping them about him. Gail wrote most of Silver Skies, her novel for Brent, in Texas, Brent's hometown. 1995, Gail moved to a different apartment in another Houston suburb. 1996, Loree McBride staged her own birthday party at Los Angeles' Spagos. Brent was not invited. She used Brent's stolen credit cards to finance her party. She leaked the story to the Houston Chronicle. Gail read about Brent's girlfriend, Loree McBride, in the Houston Chronicle on June 26, 1996. Gail cried and prayed for a month. "You're a wimp." In Brent's Dreamland CD, the song "Please Don't Talk About Me When I'm Gone" seems to be around 1996. Jesuits. Seems to be around 19. That's Jesuit interference there. Seems to be around 1996 to 1998 in Brent and Gail's love story, when Gail felt Brent was a wimp. Gail shoved Brent from her dreams. She transferred her affections from Brent Spiner to Italian film star Franco Nero. Brent put Franco onto Gail's wiretapped phone. Franco was interested in Gail. In Brent's Dreamland CD, the song "What'll I Do" seems to be around 1996 and 1997 in Brent and Gail's love story. However, the evil man who became the competition in the CD was most definitely not Franco Nero. This evil man was probably symbolic of the evil Jesuit conspiracy that opposed Brent's love for Gail. Photos of Brent and Loree on the internet indicated fabrications to make Loree and Brent appear together when they were not together, with mysterious changes over time. Photos' date changed, facial expressions and appearances changed. Loree tried to seduce Franco in December 1996, when Brent and Loree went to London as part of a Star Trek First Contact movie promotion tour. Franco rejected and exposed Loree to Brent. After this, Brent's internet photos seemed to indicate that he battled depression. Because Loree always broke into his house no matter what, Brent gave up and let Loree move into his house, sleeping in a separate room from her, which he locked every night. After Loree's seduction attempt on Franco, Brent's mother stated on the internet that she did not like Brent's girlfriend, but the fake photos continued, plastering lies and facades worldwide that made Brent and Loree appear to have a normal boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, while Brent listened to Gail on his phone for hours. In Brent's Dreamland CD, the song "In the Wee Small Hours of the Morning" seems to be from 1996 to 1999 in Brent and Gail's love story, when Gail shoved Brent from her dreams. 1997, Gail's family transferred to South Carolina. She lived in a new double-wide mobile home. She abandoned her novel Silver Skies at 150,000 words, studied the Italian language, and achieved half fluency and prepared Italian cuisine. She was doing this for Franco Nero. She homeschooled her son for 4th grade and did excellent, but strange health problems emerged. From 1997 on, Gail's marriage became sexless. 1998. While very dizzy, Gail fell onto a humidifier and received 9 stitches in June 1998. While in crutches, Jesuits used teleportation technology and a look-alike of her son outside to start a blitzkrieg of fires and harassment that almost burned down Gail's mobile home. The harassment occurred in July and Christmas 1998. while Gail and her real son inside ran from door to door, putting out the fires set by the door. The Jesuit Sheriff's Department did nothing for her except to ask her, "Who's mad at you?" Gail said nothing to the Jesuit police about Brent's wiretap of her phone. She homeschooled her son for half of 5th grade. Weird health problems began, so she started to explore natural medicine and went from 140 to 115 pounds on natural medicine. 1999. Her family transferred to Seattle, Washington, and she lived in an apartment. Gail was convinced that psychiatric misdiagnosis in 1988 neglected her physical ailments so that they worsened. She abandoned conventional medicine for natural medicine with a dramatic improvement in health. After a naturopathic and chiropractic physician damaged her neck in an attempt to induce mental illness in her, Gail told Brent to take Loree McBride to court, which he did. Gail found a good chiropractor from December 1999 to March 2001 who fixed her neck. Brent paid most of the cost for Gail to see this chiropractor. Despite this, the internet and tabloids plastered their lies worldwide that made Brent and Loree appear to have a normal boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. Gail studied real estate through Century 21 and learned some law from this. With a Jesuit-induced stomach virus, Gail passed the state exam for the Washington State real estate salesperson on the first try. In December 1999, Jesus, with a thought to her mind, revealed to Gail that her enemy was the Vatican. Horrified, Gail realized the Vatican used Loree McBride to devastate Brent's love for her. She cried for 3 hours on her phone to Brent, "I'm so sorry. I'll dream about you again. I'll marry you." In Brent's Dreamland CD, the song "I Remember You" and "Come Back to Me" seemed to be around 1999 in Brent and Gail's love story, and may also jump ahead to 2006, when Gail reinstated Brent after Vladimir Putin. 2000. Vladimir Putin's wife, Larissa, died of a systemic yeast bacterium infection, the same germ which Jesuits infected Gail with. Honoring the deathbed wish of his wife, Vladimir became president of Russia. After Gail reinstated Brent as a love interest, all hell broke loose. Mysterious health problems emerged. In January 2000, Gail told Brent on the phone to expose criminal Loree McBride on the Los Angeles news networks and to bring his legal case against her to the news. The next day, an Alaska Airlines jet bound for Seattle crashed head down into the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Oxnard, California, where Gail accepted Christ in 1971. All died. Apparently, this crash was an attempt to eclipse any news coverage that Brent may bring against Loree McBride, a Jesuit. This same month that Jesuits crashed the jet into the Pacific Ocean, just about every prescription Gail got from the pharmacy Jesuits contaminated with germs. Gail filed for divorce. In Brent's Dreamland CD, the song "Let's Face the Music and Dance" seems to be around 2000 to now in Brent and Gail's love story. Gail's son failed 6th grade because of Jesuit harassment. After a breast cancer scare, Gail made a deal with God and started writing again. She wrote her short story, Emerald Towers. In Brent's Dreamland CD, the song "Stranger in Paradise" seems to be around 2000 to now in Brent and Gail's love story, because Brent is always worried that if he goes to Gail, the Jesuits will kill her, which is why he has not married her yet. September 11, 2001 also seems to correspond to this song because of all the death that happened on that day. Gail's 2 breast cancer biopsies turned up negative. Gail watched the Bible story Esther next.